So, what happens when our connection to the digital world just vanishes? We're going to dive into a story that kicks off with a totally modern day disaster, a broken phone, but ends with this amazing, unexpected discovery about the world we're so often tuned out of.
It all starts with that sinking feeling, you know? For a woman named Emma, it's a moment of just pure panic. The screen is black, the phone is dead, and it feels like her whole world just grinds to a halt. And let's be honest, it's a feeling a lot of us can probably relate to.
All right, so Emma's first reaction is exactly what you'd think, sheer panic. She's suddenly cut off, feeling totally lost and alone. And this isn't just, an inconvenience. It's this deep, gut level feeling of having your lifeline just snipped. And this really shows you the difference, doesn't it? Her phone isn't just for calls. It's her music, her texts, her clock. It's her connection to literally everything. And without it, there's just silence. A real heavy sense of being totally disconnected.
So, as her friend Anna is leading her to a repair shop, Emma has to walk through the world without her little digital shield. She can't check the time, can't put on some music, and she's just left with this raw, unfamiliar nervousness. It's a weird feeling. But here's where things get really interesting. This journey, one she's not exactly thrilled about, actually forces Emma to start engaging with everything around her in a completely new way. The panic starts to fade, and something else, something totally different, begins to take its place.
With no screen to stare down at, her senses just wake up. First, it's the smell, this warm, sweet scent of fresh bread coming from a bakery. Then she sees the explosion of color from a flower shop. She actually hears birds singing, and then this live guitar music down the street. It's amazing what you notice. And she has this little epiphany. The actual, real experience of smelling fresh bread is so much richer, so much more real than just tapping an order on an app. It's the difference between truly experiencing something and just, well, consuming it. It's like her entire world, which was always filtered through this tiny screen, suddenly just expands. She's noticing all these little details that were always there but she never saw. A packed bus, how tall the trees are, people just talking and laughing, a happy dog in the park. So all of this starts building towards this huge realization for Emma, the simple but incredible power of just looking up. And you can literally see the shift in her perspective. It's just a simple physical change, right? She realizes her default has always been looking down, at her phone, at the ground, but now she's looking up, and her whole world is changing because of it. It's not even just about seeing stuff. It's about feeling the richness of life that's been there the whole time, just waiting for her to notice. The world, she realizes, is just bursting with color. And as she's watching kids laugh and play in a park, hearing the splash of a fountain, she learns this incredibly simple but really powerful lesson. Real joy, it's not in a notification. It's found in these small, everyday moments. And maybe for the first time in a really long time, she feels this deep sense of peace. That kind of calm you can only get when you're truly present, without that constant pull of a million digital distractions. Okay, so what happens when she finally makes it to the repair shop? You'd think the story would end with a huge sigh of relief, but actually, it takes a really surprising turn. So the fix is easy, just a new battery. It's only going to take an hour. But here's the thing. With her digital world just an hour away, Emma doesn't spend that time worrying. She actually uses it to reflect on everything she's just experienced. And then that moment comes. The technician hands the phone back, the screen lights up, and just like that, her portal to the digital world is open again. But here's the crucial part, the twist. That overwhelming wave of relief she was totally expecting to feel, it just isn't there. Something fundamental has totally shifted for her. It's wild to think that in just a few hours, her entire relationship with her phone has completely flipped. She went from feeling totally lost and dependent on it to feeling this new sense of freedom, whether the phone is in her hand or not. She starts to realize that this whole disaster of a broken phone was actually a gift. Yeah, a gift. It forced her to see and hear and smell and actually feel the world around her. It gave her a whole day of genuine, unfiltered life. And I think this is really the heart of it all. It's such a powerful reminder that the real world, with all its messy, beautiful colors and sounds and feelings, is just infinitely bigger and more vibrant than anything a tiny screen could ever show us.
So, as we wrap this up, Emma's story really leaves us with a simple but pretty deep question to think about. The next time you're out walking, what might you discover if you just decided to look up?